So normally Sidra is pretty reliant on drawing core, so the point of this tuning engine is to make it so that we aren't, that focused on drawing core. So with this hand, with tuning, we're able to set up a Black Rose play on their turn. Effects. Boom. And then, there we go, that's GG. I mixed the new Cyber Dragon cards with a 5-card Synchron engine, and the results were promising. One of the main issues with Cyber Dragon is its opening plays can be rather awkward if you don't draw Cyber Dragon core, and that is what the Synchron engine aims to address. Both the search and the send of tuning make it a useful spell card in the deck. Some people use Fish Chicken with Repair Plant, and I think that this is basically a better version of that. This deck was a lot of fun to play and enjoy. The first thing to address is probably the 2 Cybernetic Overflow. After that, I will explain what the Synchron stuff does. With the way the ban list works in Duel Links, you can only play 2 semi-limited cards total, which means to play 2 Overflow, you have to completely remove Cyberload Fusion. In a regular Cyber Dragon deck, I would use one of each, but there's 4 main reasons why I play 2 Overflow in this build. Most of the time, Overflow is a better card to draw in the starting hand than Cyberload Fusion, since destroying up to 4 cards on the field without targeting is pretty good. The Synchron engine sends monsters to the graveyard, which helps to fuel Overflow. Extra deck space is rather tight, and Overflow is the deck's most important form of defense, and if you only play one and tuning sends it to the graveyard, you are going to cry. To replace the lost aggressive power from removing Cyberload Fusion, I use Rev System. However, in Cyber Dragon decks using Cyberload Fusion, I would not use Rev System. The card is cool, but if you play Cyberload Fusion, you will rarely be searching it, and in most builds there are better cards to be drawing. And in this deck, I would never go above 20 cards because then you draw core less. What makes the main deck tight is the skills restriction, forcing you to use 12 Cybers and all Dragons. I use the standard ratio of 3 core, 3 OG and 3 Nexter. I don't like Dry, I think it doesn't do enough because the skill makes more level 5 anyway. I prefer Via because it can summon itself from the hand and can also boost the fields. So the point of the Synchron stuff is to make the deck less reliant on drawing core. But even when you do draw core, it still makes your hand stronger. What this engine does is let you extend into Synchro monsters to deal with the opponent's fields, or to do a Formula Synchron combo to summon Black Rose on the opponent's turn. This combo will be explained and shown in the gameplay. One of the biggest threats to this deck is Bloom Diva, but the Synchron engine lets you summon Samurai Destroyer and Bryanak to beat it. Jet Synchron is what I use for summoning the Synchro monsters, and its effects in the graveyard to revive itself lets you summon multiple. Quick Draw Synchron I actually do not use for Synchro plays at all. Instead, I use it to make Nova, since it is a level 5 machine. I use 2 Nova since the second one comes up a lot. Formula Synchron and Black Rose for the Jet Synchron Nexter combo, and then Samurai and Bryanak to outbloom Diva, but they are also just generally good synchros. Then I use Cyber End Dragon to summon from Nova. There are other big fusions you can use here instead, but I use Cyber End because unlike Barbaroid, it can attack directly, and if I didn't use Cyber End, it would be impossible for me to activate the power bond that the skill puts in the deck. I do not think this deck needs Book of Moon, MST or stuff like that, since Overflow is a very good card and it is searchable. Plus, the deck is pretty covered in the defense department with a Formula Black Rose combo. There are some other less relevant talking points about this deck. To not make this section of the video super long, I have written these parts out in case you want to pause and read. If you are not convinced that this is better than using the chicken with Repair Plant, here is an explanation. And here's why I think Cyberpharos is not great. And yeah, this deck's a lot of fun, and feel free to stop on by the stream if you want to see me play more weird decks. Enjoy the gameplay. Pass turn, so probably a hand trap. I guess this is Draw Sense Spell Trap Thunder. Core via, and then like Quick Draw, Ditch OG, summon Quick Draw, overlay Quick Draw on Core, res for OG, make another Nova, and then like res that. That works, right? Yeah, that works. So we grab the Quick Draw. That's a pretty nice mill. And then we go Core. I guess. Actually, I shouldn't have veered there, actually. That was a mistake. Because we milled next to, so there's actually no need to do that, I guess. Yeah, I think Thunder is better to play as like a small build now, I think. As opposed to playing like a pretty large deck, because you only have one live in here, really. Okay. So we make Nova number 1 with Core and Quick Draw. And then even if this isn't game somehow, we have Overflow the follow-up for defense, I mean, rather. Detach Core, Revive OG. Because the skill is thrice per duel, we're gonna make Via level 5. And then overlay Via and OG to make another Nova. And then the other Nova detach OG to reborn OG. And then we're going to set Overflow and battle phase. We'll attack with Nova and then enter damage step. So there is a delay here. So that was a Sphere Hero. We're gonna banish from the hand first. So we're doing this attack order to play around Veil. Temperance, let's see. No Temperance, nice. GG's. So normally Sidra is pretty reliant on drawing core. So the point of this tuning engine is to make it so that we aren't, you know, that focused on drawing core. So with this hand, with tuning, we're able to set up a Black Rose play on their turn, which is what we're going to do here. So we're going to go tuning. We're going to grab ourselves a Jet Synchron. We're going to go milling core. Next, we're going to discard OG, summon Nexter. Next is going to revive the OG Sidra. We're going to normal summon Jet Synchron, and then use Jet Synchron and Nexter to make Formula Synchron, and then also draw cards while doing this. So make Formula Synchron, and get to draw cards. Okay, it's not a great draw, but it's alright, we have this for follow-up anyway. Then we're going to pass turn on this. So on Resolution, it's important that we don't chain Formula Synchron here, because if we chained Formula Synchron to that, Black Rose would miss the timing. So we do Formula Synchron here, to synchro with the Sidra to make a Black Rose. And then Black Rose will blow up Channeler, and if it had Swallow's Nest, it wouldn't work, because Black Rose does not target. Effects. Boom. Is it rare you do that turn 1? Not really, no. It happens quite a lot with tuning and Jet Synchron. Power Bonds. Ooh, okay. Interesting. Let us go normal Nexter and then revive OG, I guess? Yeah. Okay, Nexter, revive OG. And then, there we go, that's GG. Nice. A regular Sidra build with a hand without core would kind of cry here, but I think we possibly have a good play here, depending on what we mill with tuning. So let's see. So we add the Jet Synchron, and we mill core. Okay, that's interesting. So from this point, Jet Res, do something to Sidra, and then like Nova, reborn Sidra. I think that's probably the play here, yeah. Because we don't want to be passing turn against D Hero, really. Because of Musco change being a thing. So here we go, quick draw. Discard the Jet. Jet Synchron to ditch the tuning. Summon itself back onto the field. Tribute Summon OG over the Jet Synchron, and then overlay OG and Quick Draw. Yeah, like it's not like that crazy of a board, but like it's much better than passing turn against D-Hero. Like if this board isn't anything insane, I think it's better than what like, you know, a regular builder sideshow could do with like OG plus like whoever these cards would be instead. Vortex. So we let this resolve, and summon the Cyber End Dragon from the extra deck. So we can do it in attack mode because there was no delay on the econ, so we don't have to fear econ. But in attack mode we can halve it with blast and run it over. So, but Excalibur is a thing, so we put it in attack mode. Toggle off does not hide delays. Clock going to search for in MST. Yep. Grabs the MST to the hand. Draw Dark Pass. Momency, that's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. So with this, we have a few options. Well, a few. I say a few. I mean basically two. It's either like Core Grab Overflow, or Nexter, Res OG, make a Nova, and then Reborn OG. Yeah, let's go for Overflow. So, I really dislike playing over 20 cards in this deck because you really want to see core. Like, Sidra is one deck I would personally never go above 20 cards because you want to see core as much as possible. So yeah, I'm not a massive fan of going above 20 cards in this deck. If they hit my Overflow, they can't hit their Clock Tower, so it's not the end of the world for me. Yeah, so I try to have like a lot of cool tools in the TCG. I have more of them in Duel Links now too. Effects. Let's grab Rev. I'm pretty sure he doesn't have 2 MST because there was no delay there. But if they can empty their hands, then they can draw MST. Oh, okay, no, just gonna run over the core. So now that's looking like a GG for me, because the clock returns to the deck in the end phase. Yeah, there is a build of Sidra with Diva. I think it's pretty bad though. Like, I think Diva is like not that great in this deck. It just doesn't do much, personally. It fixes some weird hands, but like it doesn't improve your bad hands too much most of the time, and makes your already playable hands worse.